Hi there, welcome back to my channel. So, today I am here to give you something new, something which I haven't actually done here. So, that is about socio-political and cultural events. I have been really interested in these things lately. If you are one of the people who constantly speak to me almost on a day-to-day basis, you know how much I've been really interested in all of these things lately. So today I'm going to talk on a few things which have been really on my mind when it comes to uh, all of these socio-political events that have been happening all around the world. As we can see right now, so many things are happening. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so before starting, I would like to read two verses before we start, and you will understand why I'm reading these verses in a bit. So the verses are from Luke chapter 12, verse 2 and 3, which says, "Nothing is covered up that will not be revealed or hidden, that will not be known. Therefore, whatever you do, therefore, whatever you have said in the dark shall be heard in the light, and what you have whispered in private rooms shall be proclaimed on housetops." So, the reason that I'm starting with this first is because the first event that I want to actually talk about here is something which is it's funny for us as viewers who have seen it. It's funny. I know for that person it's traumatic, but for us as viewers it's funny. And I'm starting off with this, and I think so you got the idea as to why I started with Luke chapter 12 verses 2 and 3. That's because the first thing that I wanted to talk about was Andy Byron, the CEO of Astronomer. His story is funny in a way that, you know, what the Bible says, it always tells us, do not do anything bad in the dark, because eventually it will always come to light. No matter how much you try to hide it, it will always come to light. Even if you think that you're so slick, that you have outsmarted God, you have outsmarted the one who sees all, even if you think that, that is just your delusion, and that will never happen. Hence, what happened in the dark came to light, and it came to light, I will say, because that was a big light that showed up, that shined upon them, as to how it all was revealed to us. So that is why I started with that, and it's a lesson for all of us actually. If you are doing anything shady or doing anything bad, stop right now and learn from their mistakes, so that you won't have to learn from your own. Learn from their mistakes beforehand, and see that whatever happens in the dark definitely always comes to light. And it's not only for rich big people, it's for everyone. Don't say that I'm just a small person doing small things. What will this affect anyone? How will this affect anyone, or anything like that? But God sees everyone as equal. So of course, even for you also, if you're doing something shady in the dark, it will come to light. So my friends, turn from your ways. Okay, so the second one which I wanted to talk about was about conflict of language. So the reason why I am using this as my second point, which is the conflict because of language, is because the funny thing is, recently here in my country, in India, recently I have seen, I think so, two incidences so far, where the one which I remember the most recent is in Maharashtra, where people were harassing a vendor just because he didn't know how to speak the local language. At least he knew how to speak Hindi, which is the language that even they know, but they like to converse in their own local language a lot, more often, which I am not putting them down for that, because even me in my own household, in my own area, in my own locality, in my here in my own small town, we also converse in our own local language. But that does not give us the right to actually straight up go and harass someone who does not really know how to use your local language, and they are using a language which is easier to understand for them and for the people coming and buying things from them also. I don't know where the problem is with that. I really don't see the issue in actually speaking in your own mother tongue, and I don't see the issue in speaking a language where the others also can understand. If you are speaking about something like which is let's say which is okay, which needs to stay between you two, or between you and the group of people that you're talking with, of course, speak in your local language, speak in a language that only you all can understand. No one is judging you for that. But why are you harassing a vendor who is speaking in the common language just so that he can make his life a little bit easier? His life is already hard enough being a vendor, having to take care of the things, having to look after the things that he is selling, so that he may not by mistakenly give somebody food poisoning, because even if he does that also, he might as well be arrested also. So please, like, I understand you love your local language, but also understand that India is a very diverse country and we don't know all the languages here. And if you come and speak to me with a language that I don't know, how will I understand? Hence, we need the common language, right? The common language is there for a reason, right? So that the people who do not converse in that language, who might just understand it but don't converse in it from day to day, at least they can actually converse with you when in times of need, where they can actually tell you, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that, this is how our deal is going to go. If there's no common language, how will you understand anything that the other person is saying, and how will you make a better society altogether if you can't understand what you both are saying? There are some people who can understand the language and not speak it, and I'm one of them. There are certain languages where I can understand but I can't speak them, and there's nothing bad with that. We have a common language for a reason, so that language barrier will not cause the harm of the people in the society. That's why we have a common language. So it's so stupid to just harass someone, make them feel threatened, and go ahead and threaten them also that you would harm them just because they don't know your local language. That is totally unfair. If that was the case, then why do we even need a common language? And if that is the case, then no trade and commerce would ever be possible in the whole world if we did not have a common language. Think about it. How will we ever have trade and commerce with other places, other countries, other tribes, if we do not have a common language? Seriously, make it make sense. How will you actually make a living? How will you actually make a better society if you don't even have a common language? How do you expect to converse with sign language, which I highly doubt that most people even know that. I don't think there's even like a lot of people who even know sign language, except for if you have family members who can't hear or can't speak, then yes, you may know, but other than that, I highly doubt. So yes, stop taking out small things, small reasons, small issues, and turning them into something so big that it seems like this is the only issue that we should be focusing on, instead of focusing on making our society better, making our trade better, making our finances better, growing all together. Please, let's be civilized. Let's have more civic sense. Indians are already known and abroad to be lacking civic sense, so please, let's have more civic sense. Okay, so my last uh, topic which I want to speak about is about Israel. So in the past like 2 to 3 years, they have been in the middle of wars, 3 wars from which I can remember. They have been in the middle of 3 wars constantly for the past 3 years, and I don't know how they keep on getting in the middle of wars. And the common denominator in all of these wars have always been Israel, Israel, Israel. It has never fought with the same country. It wasn't in a war for the past 2 to 3 years with the same country. It has been changing countries again and again and again. But the common denominator is always Israel. Always. The first one was with Palestine. Okay, for that one, I can give them the benefit of the doubt because Hamas started it. Allegedly, they started it. But you know what? If you look at the news which is coming out now and the discoveries about Hamas and how they are funded and everything, makes you question actually if they were doing it without the support of someone from the inside, or they were just strong enough to just go ahead and attack Israel, whose defense forces is one of the best in the world. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's one of the best in the world. So think about it. Think about it before you say anything protecting Israel. Think about it. Think about it properly. And the second one is the one where they recently attacked Iran. I still don't understand why. I've been asking the question to myself, why would they do that? Why are they doing this? Why would you have to do this? Why? Their reason is that they are advancing towards making a nuclear weapon. Okay, they are doing that. You could have first informed almost like the big political leaders. You're like, Israel is like close friends with the US, so could have taken the help of US to make this information reach to the top, so that there will be investigations in the alleged nuclear sites, so that it can be certain if their claims are right or wrong. That wasn't done. They just directly struck Iran. I'm still asking why. Why couldn't you have chosen like a much more peaceful path? I I I don't have the answer to that. And also the last one, the most recent one, is their attack on Syria, and their reason is that they are protecting the Druze community because there's a regime change in Syria, and they are protecting the Druze community because there is mass conversion, etc, etc, etc. Okay, I understand you wanting to protect the people who favor you and who work in your favor. I understand that, but that does not mean that you go ahead and just bomb a whole country for that, because at the end of the day, the ones suffering are the civilians. At the end of the day, the ones who have to work hard to earn back the money that they have collected over the years, building their houses, building their companies, etc., they are the ones who are going to suffer again. I really don't see the point here. Okay, so as I was going down this rabbit hole of why is Israel always in the middle of this, I didn't really have to dig so deep, because some of the people from which I saw this first and then I went and also fact checked it. I will also keep it here for you to also see that it's there in the Wikipedia also, where you can easily see that there has been an ongoing investigation against Bibi Netanyahu, their current sitting president, from since 2016, from 17 July, or no, December 2016. There has been an investigation against him since December 2016, and he was accused of breach of trust, accepting bribes, and frauds. And he was also indicted on the 21st of November 2019. So, what does this tell us? So, if you know about Israel, you'll know that they're actually known to actually imprison their political figures, their political leaders also, if they are found accused of crimes. They are known to actually do that. You can see it in their history also. They are known to do that. So, what Bibi is doing, according to what I have understood from all of this, is that he is actually trying to avoid the sentencing, the trial, because due to these ongoing wars, now 3 of them, of course the trial date would constantly be pushed again and again and again. So hence, now that he has started this war in Syria also, of course the trial date has been pushed again, and he has still not been tried, and his sentence is not given as yet. So at the end of the day, he's just trying to protect himself. He's not protecting the country. Look carefully, and you will see that he is not trying to protect the country. He is just protecting himself, protecting his money, protecting his wealth. He is not protecting the country. I think so he could give less shit about what is going on in his country if he is safe and he can have all of his luxury meals and luxury cars and luxury travel whenever he wants. But right now he has to act like a patriot because he has to protect himself from going through trial so that he won't be sentenced. So yeah, there Israel, I think so it's a whole big rabbit hole to go through, to go down, because its history in itself also is kind of like questionable to some extent if you actually look into it. Let me know in the comments if you want me to actually do a whole video about how Israel was formed, who are the founders of Israel, and how is it affecting the current its current state right now. I would actually do that because I feel like everybody needs to know how it is formed and who were behind it, and what we all should know about it actually, before we just believe it blindly and say that it is the land of God. I mean, it is said in the Bible, it did name Israel in the Bible, but you know what? We will talk about the biblical aspect of it in another video. We will talk about the biblical aspect of Israel in another video. So let me know in the comments what topics you want me to cover. I will cover them. And for now, that is all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until then, thank you for being here. God bless you all. Bye bye.